left side now. It'll be number 7, Becca Luthold. Back over. And we'll get a goal kick coming up. Kicked out here, and number 17 will get her footsie on it, Claire Mulholland. And the Lions trying to play it 2 feet here in the center. A little give and go, and then intercepted here out of the back. Bagnall will flip it to Mulholland. Down that left-hand side, Mulholland has Meniscus across the way. Olivia Meniscus off the top bar. Bagnall now with a chance, and that one goes high. So Meniscus had a great opportunity there, just a little bit high. Booted out and headed there in the back by Lena Spittler. Back over to the middle. And evenly played thus far. Nice job by Clark out of the back there. Spittler trying to stay with it. Hits the carpet. And then controlled here by the Torrent, who will go wide. Mulholland trying to pass to herself. Somehow came away with the ball, but then ended up going out over on that far side. Off of Bagnall and forwarded towards Annie Bagnall. Tried to get her leg on it. Spittler to Bagnall. Bagnall looking around, gets it over to 21 Steinbeck. Steinbeck back over to Bagnall, who boxes well and kicks one right there, but Schatzer is able to handle that. Down that far side right now. Here come the Lions still staying with it. They send one across. They got Davies there defending. She kicks it out and still bounced around a little bit, and Davies will get there to Spittler. Meniscus tries to send one back to Spittler, and it'll be Davies trying to hustle that. Jill Mallon trying to chase that down, and I think we're going to get a goal kick coming up here for the Torrent. We're 13 minutes into the contest. I want to thank AMP Global Strategies, Endless Energy, and the Frozen Cow, sponsors of the Back Mountain Torrent here on the McCarthy Tire Game of the Day. Good work here by the Lions, and there to take care of it is Morgan Solano. off the Lions, and Mallon will do a good job of just getting in the way. Meniscus to Bagnall. Bagnall by herself out there will survey. Annie Bagnall sends one across just out of the reach there of Meniscus and Paige Adams. And then they'll send one down, and this is dangerous here for the Lions. Clark will try to get there, get to the angle. They'll send one across, and they got a player there, Solano there, and then they boot it out. So luckily there, the Torrent got fortunate. Lions. 14, Haley Neidig. Just a little bit high. The Lions have had an opportunity or two here. And taken care of. Bagnall, Meniscus. Here's Meniscus, got pickpocketed there for a second. So get it back to Adams. And Adams will try to get over towards her teammate. And now here out of the back is Avery Chapolis. Bagnall trying to keep it alive. And it's going to be a corner coming up here for the Back Mountain Torrent. Chase here. Be sent back to Davies, and Davies will get to it. Booted down, and this will be a foot race. Mallon will try to get it to Solano. Solano able to get it, and will pluck it down towards the bench. Lions. Good move. She keeps it in. Right towards Solano, and she'll make the stop right by her footsies. "17 minutes into the first half here. We had a long delay. It was a 3 o'clock start. Played 2 minutes and 42 seconds. And then the rain hit hard here in the Back Mountain. And we got delayed for almost an hour. And that was tough. Everybody's just patiently trying to wait. Nerves, all that stuff. And there was a second game scheduled right after this, but that got delayed until a further time because of today's delay with this game. We had some weather elements in the Back Mountain last night, caused power outages here in northeastern Pennsylvania. But such is the summer and the hot weather, and get a little bit of unsettled stuff going on. Meniscus. Olivia Meniscus trying to make a move. Gets it towards the outside, Mulholland. Makes a move inside. Tried to get Jimmy the Ripper going on, but it hit off of the Lions. We'll get a corner coming up here for the Back Mountain Torrent. We thank AMP Global Strategies, Endless Energy, and the Frozen Cow, sponsors of Back Mountain Soccer. Here comes the floater. Bagnall right there with Spittler. And let the bodies hit the floor, and then we got a whistle. It's coming the other way here after Spittler was getting involved there. 3 substitutes for the Torrent, 5 for the Lions. So we'll see how they utilize their benches. Meniscus been pretty good in open spaces today. He's had a little burst of energy. A starter on the Misericordia University Cougars team. There's Spittler, a veteran player, has some children, and she is playing soccer here with the Back Mountain Torrent. Love it. Awesome to see that she still loves the game and just happy to be out here competing. Mulholland. Back over towards the center. And this will go out. We're going to get a substitution here. Angelina Mendola will come in here on the defender side for Jill Mallon. .46 into the first half. Mallon had to get taped up, had an injury. She's battling, might be a hip flexor or something like that. So she's toughing it out, doing a good job. Great move over on that far side, and that was dangerous there as the Lions had an opportunity to poke one in. They went far side, and they had a player over there, but just didn't work out for them. Now the Lions are getting all their players warmed up and getting ready to come in here. This one booted out. And Meniscus will get it to her feet. Olivia Meniscus sends a beautiful ball to Mulholland. Can she get there? Inches away. Nice job by the keeper, Haley Schatzer, who came out to attack that ball. Clark over there, and Adams. That'll be Chipolis. And they'll boot it all the way back here. Solano sends one right to Meniscus, hits off a Lion, and the squeeze will come on here, and Spittler will get there. Spittler to Meniscus. Meniscus has a couple of players, gets it over to Steinbeck. Steinbeck sends one down, but it'll be the Lions who will get there first. This one will get to Davies. Davies does a nice job of just kind of careening that off towards her side. And back over Spittler will get her footsie on it. Back to Adams. Meniscus. Meniscus sends the ball down. Mulholland will get there. Good ball by Olivia. Sent over towards Bagnall. Bagnall off the post, scores. So that ended up going into the back post. Looked like the front post, but a scoring combination Meniscus, Mulholland, and Annie Bagdahl in a 1-0 Torrent advantage. 23 minutes into this afternoon's affair. This one booted down off the head. Back over to Mulholland, who has played well on that outside wing. This one coming towards Mendola, who sends a ball towards the middle, but nobody home there. And Bagdahl's going to kind of hustle this. They kind of forgot about her, and they're still alive here. And that one just a little bit off. A long bomber there for the Torrent. They'll get a corner out of this. 24-14. We'll play 90 minutes today. And again, once there are some substitutions, they will talk a little bit about how long they can play. This one, Spittler, and chops it down. She's still down, trying to keep position out here. And this will be knocked out, and we'll get a throw in come up here either by Davies or Mendola. Mendola sends this one into Bagdahl. Bagdahl is right there, and girl knocked her down, but they're going to call that on Bagdahl. Sometimes second person on that. They both were bodying each other up. This one will just take a bounce. Davies does a good job of trying to body up, but then it is a breakaway here. And then coming in defend. Nice job by help, I think you had there by Sophia Clark. So Clark kind of bolted in. 14 will now make an appearance here. It'll be Michaela Lear. So Lear in for Sophie Clark. Quick reaction there by the Torrent, just banging that out quick. Come right in. And the Lions lost it there. Mendola did a decent job there standing up the Lions, and then she tried to do something with it, just went off her foot. 26:33 is on the clock that we've played thus far. 2 subs so far for the Torrent, and we'll get another one in here coming up. This one booted ahead. Here's Bagdahl trying to chase this thing down. Just a little too much sauce on it with a wet carpet. And then hit across. Meniscus will get here. Olivia Meniscus tried to poke that one ahead, and it'll be booted down. Davies has a battle down here, and eventually Solano will get to it. So Davies did just enough there. It's a footsie race. And tried to get some help over there by Michaela Lear. Those two normally not playing together. So, they'll figure it out and try to get that chemistry going, but not necessarily, practicing a lot together as the back line. One booted and banged around a little bit. Adams eventually gets to it. She's got a good motor out of Tunkhannock. This one, Spittler will slow it down. And they'll send it across the way, the other side, Mulholland. Mulholland will try to make something out of this. And Mulholland has some room and right to the keeper, and Bagnall. It's still going, still alive. Spittler just got to hit it in over the, oh, it hits the crossbar, and just some tough luck there by the Torrent. They had an opportunity. So the Lions thwarted a goal there by just some luck. Sally Denhalter will head in here for the Torrent. And we'll get 24 and 10. Kara Clymer and Laurel Boyer in for the City Lions of Williamsport in green and white. Here this afternoon at Mangelsdorf Field on the John Mendola Show. It is the McCarthy Tire Game of the Day. Thanks to AMP Global Strategies, Endless Energy, and the Frozen Cow, sponsors of Back Mountain Torrent Soccer. Back Mountain Soccer Club around a long time, but new to this game. They played in League 2 last year, and now they have a team for League 1 and League 2 this year, the UWS. So Sally Denhalter comes in for number 21, Alyssa Steinbeck. Booped up into the air and headed over to the side. This one booted down. Davies will try to get there. Gets it over to her teammate and then back over to the center. And on that far side will be Shapolis at a Holy Redeemer. Mulholland, Meniscus, Shapolis, and Paige Adams chasing that thing. Popped up in the air here for the Lions. Scoots through just a bit, and Davies will get over there. Hit it here. Spittler. Spittler lost it. Lions do a good job of just being there, opportunistic. The Williamsport City Lions, green and white today. Here on the road, take 118 out here to the back mountain. They call that on Meniscus, going the other way. Oh, a couple calls that have been 50-50s, and officials have made the call. And you got to respect their decision. 35-17 into the contest today. They'll boot a nice fly ball over on that far side. A whiff by the Torrent, and then an opportunistic Lions team hit it across the center, but just weren't able to do anything with it. More Lions getting by one. Coming back down, looking to do a Jimmy the Ripper, but it is Spittler who is close by to thwart that. Shapolis pickpocketing over there by that far side. This one coming. Lions right there. Denhalter and Mendola trying to see if they could kind of contain that. Here's Solano, who will get there as it just went over the head of Michaela Lear, the defender. Morgan Solano. Dallas High School, Penn Tech. throw in coming. Adams right there. Plopped up in the air, and this will be right there. Tough spot. Several Torrent around. They're going to get a corner out of this. And the Lions with their first corner of the afternoon. On a hot day, but you know what? It's been hotter. It's been 90s, 90s, 90s. Game time, we started at 83. After the rain, we went down to 72. I think we've creeped back up into the 80s here by now. We're at about 81. And that ball is still alive here for the Lions. Right to Solano will take care of that. So Morgan Solano with the opportunity to start today. Wearing single 0. Here are the Torrent. Shoots and scores. So a goal out there. Is that Mulholland? They call offsides. All right. So no goal there. Mulholland has done a good job in general. But the official says nope. 26 and 20 now are checking in here for the Lions. (39-26) into this afternoon's game here in the first half. Between these two, we count up to 90. We've counted down. We've played 245s, but pretty much they want you to count up. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Davey, Spittler, Mulholland. Mulholland will run on that far left-hand side, and they will defend that, kick it back. Shapolis will get there, but they poke it through her legs and now have an opportunity, but it is stopped there by number 14, Lear. Now on that far side. Trying to make a move out there against Lear. And Solano will take care of it. So they had two players across the way that were hoping for a chance. And here is Selly. Denhalter gets a pass to Meniscus right on her feet. Denhalter will run down this right-hand side. Meniscus has to find her. She sends it down. It'll be a little too much juice on it for Denhalter to get to. And then they'll pass it forward here and head down back over to the side. They'll pass backwards to 15, Ella Moore in that lineup, right near the bench. Booted down. Lear sends a sidewinder over to Shapolis, who will get it to Mulholland. Mulholland tries to get it to Bagnall. That one just a hair too much sauce. Bagnall tries to get there, knocks it free from the keeper for a moment, but enough to keep it for a kick from Haley Schatzer. Banged up in the air. Davies off her leg. There's going to be a play over to the left-hand side. And just offsides. A tough call there for the Lions. They wanted the same possibility, but they got a call. That back line of the Torrent does just enough, but that was dangerous. Booted up in the air. Paige Adams down there. Spittler. Denhalter. And here's a chance, but it'll get to Solano. Ball just hanging up a bit. Lions are there. They're close. They trailed by 1 goal. It's 1-0. The Back Mountain Torrent, sponsored by AMP Global Strategies, Endless Energy, and the Frozen Cow, is the McCarthy Tire game of the day. Denhalter fakes one way, comes the other, gets it over to Bagnall. Bagnall does a little trick with her foot, keeps it going. Bagnall will send this thing across, a ground ball. Meniscus Shields, who's going to be there? Paige Adams alive, but just couldn't make it happen as the defender was draped over Adams' leg, and Schatzer will jump on it. 43 minutes into this afternoon's affair here between the Williamsport City Lions and the Back Mountain Torrent. Far side. Good footsie skills there. Headed out for a second. Denhalter will go for it. And Solano right in position. Very consistent. She's been in the right spots. And you can just see the look on Ian Scheller, the head coach for Williamsport. Like, we are there, guys. We are so close, knocking on the door here to get a goal. And they are. Adams, pickpocketed over there. They'll go back to Shapolis. Shapolis will try to send a far ball over to Denhalter. Too much traffic. They got somebody running on the left-hand side, somebody running on the right-hand side, but they couldn't get it to either spot. And Mulholland from the Torrent will take over. Mulholland gets it by a couple of peeps. She'll send one down to Meniscus, trying to outrace the Lions, but it is kicked out to the side. Booted back. Davies is there. Booted up in the air. Davies and Mendola and Lear are all trying to chase right now. Stopping here on a dime. Coming back the other way. Got by 1, got by 2, and then kicked out, and then it will be Sally Denhalter. So some luck there for the Torrent. They didn't do everything right in the back, but they did just enough. Meniscus went to the middle, and she had that whole sideline and didn't trust her speed. And that one goes out off of the Lions. 45-22 into the contest. Not sure if that's super accurate. We're supposed to take a break at the half, but we'll see how this all plays out. Get the right time here at some point as they keep it on the field as well. This one coming back. Davies goes off of her, and then Solano will get there. Pomerink on the bench, but banged up. So hoping she gets better, not only for the Back Mountain Torrent, but for her college fall season. Of course, there's that fine line between, you're playing here this summer, you want to stay healthy, you want to be sharp, but, you don't want to get banged up. At the same time, you don't want to just sit around and be on the couch all summer. So, these players know their bodies, know what to do. Sometimes it's just a matter of having a little bit of luck, too. So the Lions here have a chance. Shapola stuck her leg. Lear. Solano just made a very basic save there, but it was scary because the Lions just kept coming across. They are knocking on this door. They got a corner coming up here. At some point, it's going to go in, unless the Back Mountain Torrent could tune up that D right now. If they're poking through a little bit. Solano, that one off her hands. They're saying a goal. Saying it went across the line. So one apiece. Not sure who's getting the credit for that one, but the Lions score. So 1-1. We're tied up. Both teams have had opportunities to get a second goal, that's for sure. But just talking about how, you keep the Lions going here, that eventually they're going to score, and they do. Bagnall. Here is Meniscus with an increased offensive responsibility, and that is the half. Oof, that's a tough whistle there. All right, we'll take halftime, and we'll be back for the second half here with the Back Mountain Torrent, AMP Global Strategies, Endless Energy, and the Frozen Cow sponsoring here in the McCarthy Tire Game of the Day. We are back at it here, the second half. The Back Mountain Torrent and the Williamsport City Lions were tied up at 1 apiece. Back Mountain Torrent sponsored by AMP Global Strategies, Endless Energy, and the Frozen Cow, located here in the Back Mountain. And, of course, it is the McCarthy Tire game of the day. Tomorrow we'll be back and give you another game, as the Torrent will be home tomorrow as well, 3 o'clock. Mallon down there to defend. They get it across. Lear. They come in and a ground ball right to Solano, who takes care of that. So we'll see how long Mallon could last this half. He's a little banged up there. And toughen out maybe a hip flexor injury. Has that taped up. So that's a tough one. And Solano right there as the Lions outraced the Torrent. So here comes the corner for the Lions. Lily Cross, the coach for the Back Mountain Torrent this season. And that one just a little bit off a couple of bodies and wide. Torrent again home tomorrow. They'll be home next Saturday as well, and that'll conclude their home games for the season between tomorrow and next Saturday for the Team 1. Team 2 will have some other home games, including tomorrow was a not scheduled one. Then it looked like they were going to play it, but now it looks like it's going to be rescheduled totally, so we're not sure when Team 2 will play. Thursday, we believe they'll be home, and then next Saturday, Team 2. So we'll get a throw-in coming up here. Mendola will hustle up to try to see if she can get some kind of advantage, and she finds Annie Bagnall. Bagnall's high school coach in attendance. And, of course, Avery Chapolis, also part of Holy Redeemer as well. So it'll be the Lions kicking this thing out. And they'll boom this thing to that far side. Davies will go to the outside. Mendola will replace her in the middle. It'll be Adams here who sends one across to Spittler. Spittler's looking wide to Mulholland. Mulholland has an opportunity here. She'll send it over right near the goalie and sent one towards Bagnall. Was hoping maybe get a deflection there, but not enough juice on it for a possible scoring goal. Meniscus now. Bagnall boxes out well. Gets by one defender, and Jimmy the Ripper high through the goalpost. So just a few minutes into the second half here at Mangelsdorf Field for the Back Mountain Torrent. We're in the 90s pretty much all week. And at game time, it was 83 degrees. The rain came, we got down to 72. And now we're back up, eking up over 82 again. But better than 92 right now, which we faced. Slight breeze, if you want to call it that. Meniscus, Adams, Mendola gets it to Spittler. Spittler will send one down. It'll be intercepted there. No juice. Mulholland was in the area, and this one will come down on this right-hand side. Possibility here, number 11, Emma Dacotres. No good. Morgan Solano. Take care of business here. Get this thing out. Boots it on the far side here. Mulholland. Some good footsie tricks. And gets it moving down this left-hand side. She's got Bagnall to her inside. She dishes it over to her. Bagnall pokes it forward and just little give and go action there. Mulholland kind of slowed down just a bit, but it might have been out of her reach anyway. No Emma Schweitzer today. No Lilia Calvert. Two offensive weapons. Mallon kicks it back to Davies. Davies gets it over to Mendola. Mendola will try to get it forward a little bit. She's got pressure immediately and gets it over towards that far side. So there's a plopper in the air. Can Mallon get there? She will. Can he keep it inside? Just barely. But a nice job. And then they say, no. And Mallon says, kicks it away. So off just a hair. Plopped up in the air. Meniscus back over to the middle of the Bagnall. So Meniscus and Mallon are both there. Mallon has possibilities here. She's got two players right in the center that might be able to rivet one in. Mallon sends one high and just over the bar. Not a bad look there. Tried to power that one through. Had a couple ground ball possibilities or a lofty. Straight up in the air. Adams got her foot in there, and here come the Lions. Spittler came up to put some pressure. It'll come out of the back, and it'll get to Mallon. Mallon finds Mulholland quickly. Mulholland now sends it down to Annie Bagnall. Has been working hard all day. Didn't get a break. And they will come and kick that away. And it'll be a throw in here coming for the Torrent. Mallon will run it down. This one coming back over towards the center. And then back over Davies. Davies circles up a little bit, back over to Lear. Lear kicks it into Meniscus. Meniscus looking to make a move. She's got two defenders there. They slide it to Adams. Adams has a possibility, goes off a Tootsie Toe, and Adams will circle back and look around, send it into Bagnall. Bagnall's got about an inch. Bagnall's got a couple of defenders, sends it by and just off. Schatzer was right there, and that might have hit the post. It was right near the goal. Still 1-1 here with the Back Mountain Torrent. Sponsored by AMP Global Strategies, Endless Energy, and the Frozen Cow. It is the McCarthy Tire game of the day. So here comes a corner kick. And booted in with a little bit of extra sidewinder. Spindler still keeping it alive off a body, and the Lions get it out. And still going over here. Mandola sends a ground ball right to Adams. Adams couldn't get it off quick enough, and it goes to the outside, and then they knock it out. So a nice job there by the Lions of thwarting that threat. So a throw in here to Davies, who's been a steady back there for the Torrent in the lineup all afternoon. Spindler will get it over to Mallon. Mallon will play it off her foot here. Fakes one thing and looking, just kind of settles down a little bit here with Lear. Lear will send a juicy ball, but it'll just have too much. "55 minutes and change into this affair. A little less than 35 remaining. Meniscus. There comes a possibility, a perfect ball down there as Mandola tries to chase this thing down. And good job there. Mandola just got enough foot in there. It looked like, is that a foul? Did she just get her foot in there? And enough to where it was a non-call, and Solano will be able to kick it out. Those are always close in soccer. You're not sure which way it's going to go. Bagnall. Meniscus. Looking for somebody. Mulholland gets it past. Here's an opportunity. The Torrent shoot, and no, off the keeper. That looked like it was going to be a gimme for a half a second, but there is no gimmies. Haley Schatzer did her job of just getting her body in the way. So here comes the Torrent with a corner here. Lofted off ahead. Davies tries to plop it up in the air. Bagnall bounces it, but it'll go to the Lions here. Still got some thunderstorms in the area, but it looks like we're okay till the night. So I think we're going to make it here as the sun is out in full effect here in the back mountain here at Mangelsdorf Field, home of the national champion baseball team. And sent across and high as number 21 tried to get there, Alyssa Steinbeck. Good hustle over there by Steinbeck. So Ian Scheller yelling out to his squad on the UWS League One. That's the Back Mountain Torrent, sponsored by AMP Global Strategies, Endless Energy, and the Frozen Cow. It is the McCarthy Tire Game of the Day here on the John Mandola Show Network. We appreciate you joining us here for some live action this summer here with the Torrent. Supportive of these ladies who are trying to make soccer a little bit more popular here in northeastern Pennsylvania. And, of course, they're talented women on the squad. Mandola from Meniscus and just jotted around. A lot of traffic there for the Torrent. And it'll come back over and get it back to the outside with Mallon. Mallon tries to get a little bit of a burst. Catches it back to Mulholland. Nice job there. Mulholland will try to hustle this one, try to get position. She sends one across, and they'll get a corner coming up. So another possibility here for the Back Mountain Torrent. So it'll be Mallon. Sends one across, floating. Bagnall right off a foot, and a finisher by Mulholland. So Bagnall got it to a foot, and then Mulholland just knocked it in. 2-1 Torrent. So Claire Mulholland has done the job here today, hustling a lot, and been an offensive force for the Back Mountain Torrent. We are 60 minutes and change into this, just 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes to go. Time is flying by. Steinbeck goes down after that play there from the Lions. And Dola's going to step up, kicks it over to her teammate, and then Meniscus will have an opportunity. Olivia Meniscus tried to get a burst of speed there and lost the ball there. So nice job by the Lions, overall defending. This one comes up on that far side here for the Lions. But it is Adams who is there. Their Tunkhannock Spikes, the orange ones. And then Mulholland on this far side and picked off here in the back by the Lions. And having a head of steam there is number 12, Janae Berge. So good job by Berge, who had an initial charge, and then it'll get over to Solano here. And Solano will take care of it. So the Torrent protecting a 2-1 advantage here in the second half after a goal from Mulholland. Bagnall plops one up in the air. Mulholland, nice job of shielding there by the Lions and keeping her out. Three substitutions possible here in the second half for the Torrent. So we'll see what they look like as this game develops here in the second half. Again, we're about 27 minutes and change away from blowing the whistle and ending this contest at the 90-minute mark. Give or take a little bit here with this clock. This one comes across. It'll get picked off. So good job there. And then Bagnall was waiting. And then they'll get back to Meniscus, back over. Adams, Mendola on that far side, forged ahead. I don't know if Adams sees her. And some open space. Mendola will get a footsie on it, and she'll look around now. She'll kick it over to the side, finds an opportunity there with her teammate, and a shot, and a ripper, and a score. So a beautiful job on that far side by the Back Mountain Torrent of finishing one lefty style. And that goal, I believe, will be Steinbeck from Mendola. So a nice job by Allie Steinbeck. Now 3-1. 63-48. We'll play up to 90-minute mark. Coming down, here is Mallon. Mulholland to Mallon. And Jill Mallon will just kick it out right in front of the bench there. She didn't have much to do, so. Veteran player. This one will tweak down here. This is dangerous here for the Lions. Off the head. Bounced up in the air, and yeah. Oh, boy. That looked dangerous for a second. Lear took a chance there, and they call that a corner, and it's out. So here's a possibility for the Lions, trailing 3-1 to make something happen out of a corner. See what the Torrent talk about here to make sure they're in the right positions. Nobody's sneaking up, but they got a couple people charging right towards the goal right there. That goes off a body and then cleared away. And Meniscus will use her teammate here, and they'll get it forward to Bagnall. She'll have some pressure immediately on her. And then she'll get it backwards. Mulholland. And Mallon will kick it right towards the bench. They'll send one right towards Solano, who takes care of it. So thought that one might hang up a little bit more and see if a Lion could run under it. But it fell pretty quickly, and Morgan Solano, the goalie, wearing single 0, took care of it. Booted up in the air. Meniscus. And just kind of kicks it down, and the Lions will watch this thing roll out. It'll take a little bit here. 66.5-minute mark. We'll play 90 today. Chapolis will check in. Meniscus. That's it over to Steinbeck. And Mendola was there to just get her foot on it, just be in the way. Here's Meniscus again. And Olivia Meniscus gets a knuckleball off a body over there. I think we're going to get a corner coming up here for the Back Mountain Torrent. We'll get a substitution here for the Lions as well. So Chapolis will bring out Mallon again with that thigh taped up and that hip flexor. He's been toughing it out all afternoon long. Has done a nice job, Joe Mallon. She's in pain, obvious pain. She has gutted it out the best she could. This one will be sent across off of Adams. And then back over Chapolis now gets her footsie on it. Mendola's over that way. Mendola will send one, and it'll go wide left. Made a field hockey goal if that counts, but it doesn't. So here comes the free kick at the 68-minute and change mark for the Williamsport City Lions in green and white. Spittler. Bagnall. Looking around. Here comes Adams. Adams over to that other side. And poked out. I think that will be a corner. So here comes the Back Mountain Torrent with a corner opportunity. Angelina Mendola will be a senior in the fall at Wilkes-Barre area. A couple of high school players still going here. And that one is headed out. We'll get a throw in now coming up. It'll go to Davy. She got a girl right on her tail. I don't know if she saw her. And then somebody yelled out, hey, you got somebody on your tail. So Lear sends one, just goes to the wrong colored jersey, and now trying to get a opportunity to roll are the Lions. We'll send one down. Two players there, a couple defenders there, and this one will float to space, and they'll poke it up to just over Solano. So Solano never touched it. Looked like maybe she did, but it'll be a goal kick here coming up. Mallon's got a ice pack on her head, just trying to cool down. I think all the teams here are going to take a little break here. Little heat break. 20 minutes to play. We'll be back momentarily. All right, back at it here at Mangelsdorf Field. So the clock kept going. We took a couple-minute break. Not sure how that'll work out, but maybe we'll head to the 92-minute mark and somewhere around there. Nice move there by the Lions. Dangerous opportunity, but cleared by Lear. They head over to the center. Nice job, Lear, but they're still coming. Slow down there, but more opportunities. The Lions get a Jimmy the Ripper far left. I need that extra pass right now. The Lions trying to make some damage. Trailing 3-1 here with the Back Mountain Torrent. Sponsored by AMP Global Strategies, Endless Energy, and the Frozen Cow. It is the McCarthy Tire game of the day. You see that dome there? It was just built, and people here at Misericordia are grateful that their sports teams get opportunities to practice in there during inclement weather. As, again, we're on the campus of Misericordia University, home of the Cougars and the newly crowned national champion baseball team. We're playing Back Mountain Torrent soccer today. Pass over to Spittler. Spittler looks around, gets Bagnall. Bagnall does a good job of using her body and then gets taken down there. So Annie Bagnall, the Holy Redeemer product, Siena College, has her 5th year coming up in the fall. Jimmy the Ripper there, right off the pause by Haley Schatzer, and keeps it in front of her. So come over on that far side right now and chop down. And Paige Adams, who has a good motor and doesn't usually get tired, is out there on the field for the Torrent all day. Trying to get by Spittler. Coming across over on that far side. And forged ahead. Nice goal there by the Lions. That was as good as you're going to get, running on full steam. And just able to kind of Herman Munster that. I mean, literally, you stuck out the big foot and just took it in. That doesn't happen. You get that ricochet that quickly. So what number is that coming off there? 11? 10? All right, so 10 is Kara Clymer with the goal. Kara Clymer has that goal. It is now 3-2. So the Lions not quitting, no doubt about it. #21, Sophie Kilbride, is on this far right side. She's dangerous. She has been in a couple of, she's near the bench side here in green and white. She's been, making some plays and knocking on the door here for the Lions. You can't just say, hey, we got this game, it's 3-1. No, you don't. The Lions are ready. So it is 3-2 now. They go outside. Mendola lurking down here, sends a give and go down to Steinbach, that is. And then Davies will chase this one down. Davies will get it over to number 14, that is Lear. Back forward, Steinbach. Bagnall. Mendola was off there for a second, but then it didn't really keep going for them. No possession. And knocked down there. The Lions just playing some tough D. Here is a possibility. A little one-on-one. They're going to have to run back here. So that is Kilbride, who has a lot of skill. Davey over there in that far side. They send one across the middle, whose whole meniscus is there, luckily for the Torrent. And bodies go down there. And now Bagnall, and the young lady from the Lions is down. The referee's kind of keeping an eye and seeing what's going on there. She's going to get up. I think she got hit in the face or the throat inadvertently. And then Bagnall, and then they're still coming. Steinbach, no. So they're going to check on that young lady here in a second. The referee will come look at her, see if she's okay, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do here with 77-34 into it as we'll head to the 90-minute mark. So Selly Denholzer will head in here, and 29, Sophia Clark as well. Denholzer will play defense here on this left-hand side. Mendola chases it back to Davies. Davies back over to her teammate here in the center. And a nice look there, but the defense just smelled that right out. Clark, and off a leg. So possibilities there for the Lions. Coming back, here's the Lions again. Goes off a body, and the ricochet goes right to Solano. So fortunate there for the Torrent on that one. Back Mountain Torrent clinging to a 3-2 advantage today. Bagnall. Tough, strong, physical young lady. Here is Meniscus. There's too many bodies there. Had to get rid of it, just couldn't. Ran into some green and white shirts. Bagnall chased that down the best she could, still chasing it. And then Davies will do her job. We're approaching the 80-minute mark here with less than 10 to go here at Mangelsdorf Field in the Back Mountain. Home and Biz Concordia University, the Back Mountain Torrent. Sponsored by AMP, Global Strategies, Endless Energy, the Frozen Cow. It is the McCarthy Tire game of the day. Thank all our sponsors here in the John Mendola Show Network for supporting local student athletes here in northeastern Pennsylvania, whether they're in college or high school. We appreciate everything they do. Bagnall, it's got a little bit of wiggle room. She'll send one down to Steinbeck. She's going to chase this thing down. Send it across. Who's home right now? Mulholland. Makes a move. Possibility. Slides it across. Goal! Mulholland scores again. So Steinbeck and Mulholland, dangerous down there. And somebody like Annie Bagnall, she has been just doing the yeoman's work, the tough stuff, and taking a lot of blows, but she's delivering them as well, and it gets it in the right spots here, and the Torrent make it 4-2-2. Couple of changes here for the Lions. Denhalter uses her body there. Bagnall tried to steamroll that one. And this one goes to the outside, and this will float to the outside. And we'll get a throw-in coming up here from Mendola. Gets it over to Steinbeck. Meniscus trying to get a burst. She's got a burst. Olivia Meniscus running by everybody. Olivia Meniscus just a little wide. I think she's okay, more upset with herself. Like, I had it, and she did have it, and just a little bit wide right. She's had some bursts of speed today and got some separation. This one sent outside. It'll be hustled here by Mulholland. And now Denhalter. Davies will hustle over. They'll stop for a second. They'll need some peeps over here, and Solano just gets there. This one popped down. And the Lions get rid of it here, 83-48. And that one will go right. So the Lions will kick this thing out here for Williamsport. Mulholland. Clark. Meniscus with a burst. Olivia Meniscus sidewinds it, and Olivia Meniscus shoots and scores. So Meniscus finally gets one after working hard, missing a couple, hit the post and side, and now it is 5-2 with less than 5 to play. So good job here by the Torrent, able to finish and put it together here in this second half. They've had a few players here today that have stepped up with a lot of people not able to make it today. And again, you have summer vacations with this league, so it's normal that not everybody's available. You just do your best to field the squad and put your best players out there. And I'm sure the same is for Williamsport. It's not easy. So here is the Torrent down that side. Mendola trying to keep it alive. Trying to get it through to her teammate, but it got hung up over there, and it'll stay alive here, and the Lions keep it going, and then we'll boot one down and get it going in transition. They'll hit it across, and I thought maybe she should have kept going there, Kilbride. She ends up sending it across, and it gets hung up. Denholter tried to get there to slow her down. So after an hour delay today, we are getting ready to wrap up between the Williamsport City Lions and the Back Mountain Torrent. Be back here again tomorrow afternoon as the Torrent will be home. So weekend games. Bagnall still trying to keep it going. Meniscus and her went hard there. And now comes across to Spittler. Spittler's got some room. Spittler, that far side, kept alive here. Steinbeck back over, and Bagnall tried to plop that one, but goalpost a little high. A little over 2 minutes remaining. And a foul there by Denholter. So the bench for the Torrent has helped them today. Just a couple girls nicked up, not 100%. It's been tough. Here's a high fly ball, and Spittler gets rid of it. So a nice job there by the Torrent. Spittler being in the right spot. In and out, little give and go action. Denholter is there. Kicks it right over to a Lion, though. And then they'll get a ripper, and it'll be high as Solano does the fake jumper. Back Mountain Torrent Soccer, sponsored by AMP Global Strategies, Endless Energy, and the Frozen Cow. McCarthy Tire game of the day. Mulholland. They plop this one, and not worth Meniscus going full out. Just kind of run down, see what happens here, and we'll send it over to the side here. So the Williamsport City Lions battled today. Denholter comes up hard. Denholter is again in position, and Mulholland is too. Back into Bagnall. Bagnall send it over. Try to play this out here for the final. Halter out of Delaware Valley, home of the Warriors. Clark, far right. So that'll do it. It is a final, and it wasn't as hot as it could have been, and they got through it, and everybody is standing up here on the field, and a couple of these girls were banged up a bit, but 5-2 the final score. The Back Mountain Torrent over the Williamsport City Lions. Thanks for joining us here on the John Mendola Show Network. We're driven by McCarthy Tire Service.